All right, I'm gonna do something a little bit different today for you guys than I normally would. This is gonna be this horse's first time crossing the ditch of death. Now, generally, I do a lot of groundwork with my horses and I get them crossing the ditch of death on the ground and prepare them a lot for the situations they're gonna face. But sometimes you're on the trail and you're faced with obstacles that you haven't dealt with in the past, you haven't prepared your horse for. So this is going to be kind of one of those situations where I'm going to treat it as just how it is. You know, he's never done this before. It's an obstacle he's never seen. And I'm just going to work through it. A good longtime friend of mine, Ryan Rose, has a saying that I like. And he says, you got 2 moments and you get 2 moments. Got 2 moments are where you have to, nice, I'll let him gain interest in that. Got 2 moments where you have to do something. You have to cross the river. The herd's in front of you, you're losing cows, the lion's way ahead of you, you're way out of place. You have to cross the river. Inclement weather's coming, you have to cross the ravine. I don't know, a chupacabra is chasing you and you have to get through, you know, a hedgerow or something like that. A got to moment is where I might add a little bit of spur, maybe a little bit of over under, and kind of get through it any way I can. Get to moment is where you work with the horse where the horse is at, and you give them time to evaluate the situation, you give them time to gain their confidence, because the end goal is not just getting through the obstacle. The end goal is getting through the obstacle with relaxation, with control, with confidence. And you work those things 2 different ways. So I treat my obstacles just like I treat my trailer loading. You guys have all seen my trailer loading videos. I ask my horse to give me a try. Anytime he goes left or right, I ask him to go forward. I use my reins only for lateral movement. I don't add any backwards pressure on those reins because I want the release to be the obstacle. So this video might be a little bit longer than some of the other ones. I don't know how it's going to go. But we're going to get this horse across the ditch of death. And this is Zane's first time. I really liked how I was talking and he walked forward. Kind of got curious. The way a horse gains confidence is it goes fear, curiosity, and then confidence. You don't want to knock the curiosity out of a horse, and you want to allow a horse to be curious when you're training them. So I'll just add a little bit of leg. Good. Anytime his head stretches down, I'm going to let him. Anytime he turns to the left or the right, I'm going to put him right back in the middle. Anytime he backs up, I'm going to add leg. Anytime he goes forward, I'm going to let him do that. He can paw the water, he can drink the water, he can do whatever he wants. If he paws, I'll make sure he doesn't step over a rein. The one thing he can't do is roll. That's a no bueno for me. Every time he tries, I give him a rest. So he tried a little bit there. I gave him a rest. I got my lick and chew. Don't always get your lick and chews, but it's a good sign. So now I'm going to ask him forward again, 1 step at a time. But before I get his feet wet, his nose has to go over the water, and then his neck has to go over the water, and then his feet will follow. So I'm not just going to try to get his feet wet. I'm going to work at the nose, the neck, and then the feet. And it's funny when people come up to an obstacle and they're under saddle, they're like, hey, come on, let's go over an obstacle. Well, I don't know if the horse thinks that because, you know, I'm 4 feet behind the horse. So the horse might be thinking, what's this let's stuff? You're way behind me. I'm the one up front. So give him time to build that confidence. Tip his nose to the right, add a little bit of leg. Good. Didn't move his feet, but he stretched his head down to investigate. That's the curiosity. Good. Baby steps. You just want to baby step it. Like I said, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I'm going to be here as long as it takes for him to be crossing this water confidently. And I just imagine there's a yellow line right there going between the water, yellow line going right down the middle of the water, and I try to keep his nose and his feet on that middle line. So he's not hugging one side or hugging the other side, he's going right down the middle. Good. Good. Took a big sigh, big deep breath. Good. That's what I want. I want to just kind of melt that anxiety out of this horse. Good. Every time he takes a step forward, it's him really trying for me. So I'm going to give him a break every time he takes that step. And then I'll ask him again. Because I want to stay progressive with these guys. I want to try not to blow them up, but I want to stay progressive. Good. Very good. He stepped a little bit further into the water. And what I'm waiting for, what I'd love to see, is for a horse to be drawn into the obstacle. I want them to see the obstacle as a release, and then you'll feel them just kind of get sucked in. They just kind of get sucked into the vortex, and you just let them go on their merry way. Backing up, so I bounce my legs off him. Trying left and right, so I'm guiding him. Oh, no, going over here. And he can go wherever he wants. When a horse is afraid and they're really putting effort into getting out of dodge, there's not much I can do anyways. But I'll just kind of guide him. Encourage that forward, because I need a try here. And the try is forward. The try isn't left and the try isn't right. The try is that. Yeah, that's the try. And I will keep the pressure on until I get a try. Okay? Pressure on until I get a try. Ask him again here. Good. Any weight shift forward, any head down stretching forward, if I feel any molecule will go forward, that's what I'm going to release. Those are on. Those are my building blocks. And that's how you build confidence, is by rewarding those little bitty tries. He's still breathing deep and shallow. I guess not deep and shallow, but he's breathing kind of fast and shallow. So I'm going to give him some time to kind of settle. The hardest part is waiting for your horse. That's going to be the hardest part. Add my legs. The further he backs up, the louder my legs are going to get. The closer we get to it, the quieter my legs are going to get. Left and right. Bounce those legs. There's a try. There's a try. And I really try to keep him in the middle, just because I don't want him jumping the bank and I don't want him slipping when he jumps the bank. I've had that happen before. I got pinned under a horse. It wasn't very fun, so I try really hard not to let a horse jump over the banks. And I don't have to sit here until I get a lick and chew, but I got to sit here long enough to get a change in my horse. Right there, I just felt him take a deep breath in my legs. So I'm going to give him enough time to process what we're doing to start to gain that relaxation. It's not always going to be a lick and chew, but I can feel when he's starting to breathe out. I can feel, when they're tight and tense, your legs are like this because their ribs are all full of air. And when they relax, your legs will come in a little bit. So those are indications of a horse getting a little bit more confident. Ask him forward. There's his head. Great. Ask him forward again. There's his head. Good. There. Now we've engaged that curiosity. He was kind of dipping his nose into it. I felt a little bit of draw. I felt a little bit of sucking into that vortex. Ask him again here. Good. Good. Just taking the time it takes. Ask him again. Good. Good. There he goes. Yeah, that's fine. Yes, that's being called sucked into the vortex with confidence and relaxation. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Now I know I came off the camera, so I'm just going to take his hips away, have him face what we just crossed, and then we're going to walk back to the other side. Come back to the other side. Rinse and repeat. Oh, he's getting sucked in all the way from out there. Very good. I'll come back around the other side. Excellent. This is really, really good. He's keeping his wits about him. I'm not adding a bunch of pressure to him so he's getting all bothered. I don't want to add a bunch of pressure at the obstacle, because then that obstacle is going to mean, you know, pressure. I want the obstacle to be nothing but relaxation. Good. I love it. Now this next time, since he's doing so well, this next time I'm going to bring him through and I'm going to stop him. I'm going to get him in the water and I'm going to stop him, because I don't want my horses just to get across the obstacle as fast as they can. I want them to think they own the obstacle. So I want him to know that he can cross an obstacle, and then we can stop in that obstacle. Good. And then, you know, you might have to, you know, turn your horse around. Oh, that was a bad idea. You know, that bottom gave way, so you might have to turn around. So get him confident in all situations. Come out, take his hips, have him face it. There you go. And then we might just end on a real nice walk through. I like it. I like it. So that's how I would kind of react to a situation where I had the time to work through a new situation on a horse. That's exactly what I would do in a get-to moment. Not every moment has to be a got-to. If you make everything a got-to, your horse will never be relaxed. They'll never understand what we're asking of them, and they'll never have confidence with the obstacles. So I wanted to do this little video of just exactly how I would work a horse doing something for the very first time. And I think you did really well. Thanks for watching.